League show that we planned, and I kind of planned it on the air, and mentioned that I would reach out to one Shrimp Scampy's namesake, Detlef Shrimp, on Twitter. I did. No reply as of yet, so Detlef won't be joining us this time. But we have Lord Beltran here. Can you reach into your personal Rolodex and get us Detlef on the for the next episode?
I mean, I think really the one who's had a little more contact with him would be Andy.
Not quite. Not quite. Typically, it's either been Chris or maybe Ian reaching out via Twitter.
Or Ian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done some retweets, but haven't had any direct correspondence yet.
Well,
apparently he's in high demand.
I feel like I'm sure he is. I mean, a Maverick great of that long.
Yes.
Wasn't he drafted by the Mavericks?
He was.
Top 10 pick, right? Numbers.
I think Beltran dropped that knowledge.
Yeah, Andy didn't know that.
Yeah, you said that one time on something.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and that's accurate. So
Maybe
Andy
that's
needs a Mavericks jersey with shrimp on it. Shrimp.
That would have been cool. That would be cool if I could try to find one of those.
Hard to get that. It'd be very
what?
hard to get.
Whoa! You all those jerseys and you don't have a Detlef Shrimp Mavs jersey?
They didn't produce jerseys back then for back in when he was here.
Be like those jerseys you got that they don't seem authentic, but they actually are. Like, you know what I mean? The old school jerseys where Andy has them, like the Sonics jersey where it's
the champion
ones, right?
Yeah.
They did.
I've got a Jordan champion and a Hakeem champion, I think.
You have like 15 different Sean Bradley Mavs jerseys. You gotta at least have one Detlef Shrimp jersey.
Sean Bradley.
Between all of us, we have at least one Detlef jersey for sure.
That's true.
No Mavs.
Yeah, they weren't producing Mavs jerseys then when he was on the team.
Mm-hmm. You got yourself a Romo Mavs jersey, and you don't have a Detlef.
I have a Romo Mavs T-shirt. How about that? I do have the Romo Mavs T-shirt. They didn't make his jersey though, but I do have
at the Mavericks arena, like when Romo was vouching for Dirk and stuff.
No. He's a former Dallas Maverick, Tony Romo. He
He
actually retired from professional sports. If you don't count golf, he retired from professional sports. A Dallas Maverick. Correct?
Yeah, that is correct. He almost tried to get himself into an actual game. How long has that been now? Like 4 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, knowing Cuban, he would have done it.
Oh yeah, he would have done it. But I think there was some kind of actual technicality where he couldn't, and they would have been fined or something like that because he wasn't on the official roster, active roster or something like that.
Has Mark Cuban cared about getting fined?
Just it depends on what it's for, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So, boys, Andy? You're the commish. What's the league up to?
Well, right now we're on indefinite hiatus. We're just we're taking our cues from the main league in some ways at this point. I know they're still trying to figure out what to do next. They're hoping that they can wrap up. If there is a season to be continued, they would want the finals and playoffs all wrapped up by Labor Day as their target. Of course, that's so late in the year that could force the next NBA season to go who knows how late for 2021. As far as it affects us, obviously we don't need to play exactly to what they're doing, but until we can get together, it's real hard to say at this point. Now I know y'all are trying to coordinate something on Fightcade, was it?
Yeah, if we can get it running. So far we have not been able to get it working. I definitely want to play like an old school arcade style of NBA Jam. I know I actually have it on PS3 or PS4, the 2009 version, I think it is. I guess we could do it that way if we want. Do you guys have that version?
I don't think I do. You're talking about was it 360 and PS3?
Let me look. I think I have my PS4 on right now. I can actually look, but there is a PlayStation version of it that has like Steph Curry and everybody. It's just not the same though. It doesn't even have a. You can't turn off CPU assistance. You cannot even do it. It wasn't made by Mark Termel. Mark Termel did consult, but that's it. That's the one that Jasmine's the famed world champion of. So I've played it before. It's not the worst. It's by far not the worst. It's a good enough game, I guess. But if we can find a way to like play some sort of arcadey version of NBA Jam, Hangtime, Showtime with each other, I sure would just murder for that.
Yes, that'd be most
Everybody's
excellent.
joking with me that like, oh, if you like Mutant, if you heard Mutant XP on here, he's like, you would. If you could take one game with you, it wouldn't be Third Strike. It'd be Super Turbo, and it's like it wouldn't be Super Turbo either, guys.
Yeah.
Jam or hang time? Hang time, but
Hang
we're
time.
calling it jam.
Yeah, Hang Time. It would be my favorite of the series is either NBA Hang Time or NBA Showtime NBA on NBC. Those are the two I love playing the most. I certainly love NBA Jam's presentation, and there's nothing like hearing Tim Cuttrow's call of a three-quarters court shot in the original NBA Jam. The way he's yelling, it's good. I'm surprised he didn't blow out the microphone.
Oh man, there's plenty of live footage of him doing that in like Chicago arcades over the past however many years, and actual NBA games.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, needless to say, I've watched quite a few of those over the past few weeks. Just getting my fix that way.
Have you? This isn't retro arcade, and Michael specifically and Andy, and I guess you too, Chris. But I know you've been busy doing this. But me and Jeremy Geronimo have been playing as of recent. When I say recent, like real recent, only like probably 6 games. The newest NBA Jam on Xbox One with like Dirk. It has like Vince Carter on the team, Dirk.
Oh wait, you're
Terry's
talking
on
about the one where they updated the rosters, like the arcade version with updated rosters? Is that what you mean?
It's updated, but not updated to the point where like Luka Doncic is on it or anything like that. Like Dirk would be the most recent.
Oh, I don't know
player.
if we can get Beltran to play
2011.
a Mavericks game with Dirk on it. He would insist on it being Luka. He's forgotten all about that guy.
Joining us now is my tag team partner, Mr. Chris Willow.
No way! The magic carpet himself? Whoa.
Yes.
Chris Willow.
I've
What's
actually
up,
been
Chris?
here for a couple minutes. Haven't had a chance to say hi.
That's who that was. I was like, that's a mystery lurker there.
Oh my
Oda in the
God.
building.
I cannot believe it. True NBA Jam greatness in the building for once.
Oh my
For
God.
the first time ever on the stream. The magic carpet himself, Chris Willow. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How about you guys?
Better now. Better now.
Yeah, so much better.
Oh my God.
So
Willow.
how are you doing, Chris? Are you okay? Like, how's your job situation? Are you hanging in there? Is Beltran letting you stay somewhere on Mount Beltran in the palatial estates?
God.
No, I'm at home
Uh-huh.
pretty much every day.
Okay.
Just like we all are.
Beltran, send a helicopter to get him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's only 10 minutes down the road from me. That's it.
Okay. Send a lowrider bike. Send a
Okay.
lowrider trike.
Yeah.
5.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to just cue up his music. We can turn down Retrospect Radio for once. Okay.
Music.
Talking about music.
They'll hear it on the stream. So, yeah, how have you been? Are you getting to play NBA Jam? I mean, we can't have your skills diminishing. Beltran's got to he's gonna need you whenever this season resumes.
Oh, for sure he's gonna need it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, he is top scorer and top stats in a lot of things.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. You heard
True,
it there.
True, but numbers don't tell the entire story.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we are a team.
Hey,
That's why we
to
are
Tiger
team.
Uppercut's credit, there's
Thank you.
nothing we can say because they've never lost a game that's like, you know what I mean, like an actual game.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes,
is
no.
right.
That's right.
We have
Michael
not
Beltran has never
I'm not
lost a
kissing the
game
butt. but it's respect.
with Chris Willow at his side, with the magic carpet there.
That's the team that they are.
Right.
That's the team.
Exactly right. Man,
You hear
of
that?
true greatness.
You hear that, boat guy?
Okay.
You hear that, boat guy? Come get you some of this.
Right? Just think,
Jeremy?
if we could make Super Turbo a 2-on-2 game and get Chris Willow by your side, you might never lose.
Oh my god. Yeah, I would love to just dunk all over boat guy in NBA Jam. Oh, I would so love that.
Oh, got Jeremy Withers.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, he is cool. But I still would love to just dunk all over him.
He was in the
Like,
NBA
why-
Jam
why
League
are
for a
you
little
never-
bit. He didn't make
Oh,
it.
Why
you
you got beef? Why you
know
got
what?
beef
You
with Boat Guy?
You didn't get to play him the first season. He was in Richardson
Mhm.
that year. We played him in Chase. That was a fun game.
Oh man, damn it. Ugh.
That's true. Bokai did make the All-Star team as a fill-in.
That's
I just
all,
saw these texts.
And he
all I
never played
want.
the game
Okay.
before.
That's all I want. I just
Let's get to the root of why Beltran wants to dunk all over.
It's a carryover from ST. That's all.
Oh, because oh yeah, you guys been killing it this year.
Yeah. So I just want to just
You
I don't
want
know,
to bring him into your realm?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, is that one of those games you want to try for 200 points?
Oh man, yeah. Oh god. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need
Boat Guy said Beltran just wants to drag.
that. That's right. Oh yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Oh man.
You know,
I
you
definitely
could have
like
played him any time throughout this entire period, Beltran. You could have just challenged him to a one-on-one. You didn't. I know you're
No,
holding out so that you can have Chris Willow right here.
I want to see Beltran and Willow play 1-on-1.
You don't want to see that. You don't want to see
Yeah.
Chris Willow open up a can that big. I mean,
You would have seen it back at Putt Putt Arlington back in the 90s. It happened all the time.
Yeah.
So did y'all grow up playing the cabs primarily or the home version?
Cabs.
Both really.
Mostly
mean-
the Caps, though.
Yeah, mostly the Cavs, but I think who was it? That somebody had it on SNES.
I did.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean we played it on SNES here and there, but not a lot, because we were playing mostly other stuff. But yeah, but it was mostly the Cavs.
I think I played
Gotcha.
on Sega. Wasn't it on Sega?
Yeah, I had it for Genesis, and that's how I played Tournament Edition and Hangtime. Because even though we had it at the local arcade, I'd never wanted to spend like 2 tokens per quarter at that time. But that's why when free play opened up, it was such a miracle to be able to play it like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
that's okay. Well, so you didn't play it really in the in arcades, Andy?
Not regularly. I would play maybe 1 game per visit, and then I thought, I'm going to spend my quarters on a beat 'em up or like Wacky Gator or something like that.
Really, the presentation of NBA Jam was so good back in the day, so unparalleled. Like when NBA Jam came out, this was before like Joe Montana Sports Talk Football, and like there were no
Yeah.
announcers in games or commentators in games, and just being able to hear all the commentary in the arcade machine. Like I would love watching people play it, but that game was uniquely worth the investment if I could at all afford it. When I would find a machine, it was a quarter, because normally there were 2 quarters for a quarter, and I could find a way to trick four of them out of my mom, and I could actually play a full game. It was such a worthwhile experience and so much fun and so much high pressure because I just wanted to hear my team wins. Man. NBA Jam in the arcade is an amazing spectacle. NBA Hangtime as well. Later on, I won a year's worth of free play at GameWorks and Grapevine, and I got to play as much as I could possibly play. And
I didn't even know they had that. That was Showtime.
it was Showtime eventually, but at first it was NBA Hangtime. They had Hangtime
was it?
upstairs. Yeah, up with the classic games, and then later they got NBA Showtime. And I actually that was during the years with the free play that Showtime came out, so I played that game extensively as well. So much of my
I played
defense. Go
Hey,
ahead.
Beltran, peep this.
Hmm.
I played because they had I bartended at GameWorks for 8 years, So like
No.
I just so that's how I know Jeremy Golden. That's how I know to connect with free play was Jeremy
Yeah,
Golden.
Yeah.
So he worked upstairs like Chris is talking about in the classic games and stuff, but that's where they had the actual basketball, like where you shoot, super shot, like where you shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
And I played with Antoine Jameson, Tony Delk. Remember them?
Oh man.
So they came for Redo Achieve, and I beat Antoine Jameson and Tony Delk in a row because I used to play Super Shot a bunch, and like so we were hardcore, like sitting up there playing 3 times because Antoine Jameson was the one that kept on wanting to play over and over again, like no, let me try it again, but he's so tall, like he couldn't. He was hitting the top of the thing. It was just
He's
Yeah,
just throwing it straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to shoot really
on
fast.
top. He was like bouncing off his high. He wouldn't even be coming close to me or Delk.
I have a Antoine Jameson jersey actually. Yeah, that's another one I have.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to mack on my girl too one time. That's crazy.
Ah, nice.
Here's a
Oh,
question for you guys. Do you remember the hidden game in NBA Jam?
Was it Battle Zone?
Yes.
The tank game, yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes. And
No,
I did
no,
get
but-
to access it in the arcade in Pierre Bossier Mall. I think it was just for fun. I found the code in the EGM and went out to the arcade and made it work. Yeah, you can play Battlezone in NBA Jam Tournament Edition, I believe, right?
I don't remember if it's the original or tournament edition.
I can't remember either.
It was on the original one.
I think it was the
The
original.
original one? Okay, yeah. I
I
definitely
did
got it to
once
work.
and never again. I thought there was going to be something to it, and it was just the biggest waste of my money ever.
Well, that's true too, but
I could have been playing NBA Jam instead. I was playing some stupid tank game.
There's Octavio. Octavio. What's up, Octavio?
What's up, guys?
what's up, dude?
Link on it.
What's up?
good to hear my teammate
So,
there.
Dude, Octavio and Chris Delp is a crazy team, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They would call it in the Street Fighter world shenanigans in a way. If it was like, I know that it's not exactly that, but it's like that's a crazy team to pop up out of nowhere. Is
Well, we were
Octavio
gonna-
and Chris Delp.
We were going to be the original team in the very beginning, but then Chris, I decided to go with my son.
Before we ever,
Season 1.
yeah.
Yeah, Winston lit some people up too that first season. I remember those stat lines.
Yeah, you should have seen what he did to Zeke.
Yes.
I posted on the thing. Where is Zeke? I wanted Zeke on this because Zeke always adds some comic relief.
Yeah, I don't know.
color.
He might be out of pocket. We were trying to do something for his Team Double Kill podcast. I haven't heard back yet though, so he might be busy like a lot of people are right now.
So I started off playing on the cab. It was I don't know if you guys remember the arcade that was on Park Lane by Central. Forget the name of it.
Park Lane by Central. All I know is Dave and Buster's out there.
No. But close, literally on Park Lane.
Up Walnut Hill.
Yeah, I don't
But
know
there
that
used to
one.
be a movie theater. It was below that that nightclub.
Okay, wait. The AMC and then below that, is that what you're talking about? Where?
Yeah,
the,
in front of it.
It was
on
Qzar.
Park Lane.
That was Qzar, wasn't it?
No,
Yes.
but in front of Qzar.
That was Qzar.
Was in the movie theater. There was an arcade in front of there. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh,
Anyway,
Qzar-
that's where they had
yeah,
Cyberball,
Qzar
and
was
I'd go there every
below
Friday
it.
and play Cyberball, and I will never forget when NBA Jam came. So then I started playing NBA Jam as well, and we just loved that game. And then that's when I moved to Athens, Greece, and I was really when I first moved to Athens, I didn't remember
Check the
Greek
lore, all right?
and I was really like sort of like, why can't anybody speak English? Like walking around, just not.
So
And
you
there was a
were
bowling
you were a
alley.
bigot.
Well, kind of. I just hated being alone. So then there was a bowling alley by where I lived, and in the there in front of the bowling alley, they had like it was a new game there in Athens, and nobody knew the codes, nobody knew how to play. So I was just beating people like 140 to 10, and just smoking people.
jeez.
And two stories on that is that one is that's how I met my son's godfather, and he became my first friend in Athens because he spoke English. He used to live in America, and he was trying to see what I was doing, the codes out. Because you used to press, I think it was block 8 times in a row, and you could do automatic goaltending. I forget the code, but there was something that I was doing,
Give me
and,
that.
and he was trying
without
to
a
sneak
code.
what I was doing. And then we started talking, and I found he spoke English. But the funny story is there was this kid that was there all the time playing, and I didn't know who he was. And he was very competitive, and I was destroying him, but he kept getting better. And I was like talking trash because I didn't know. And my friend was like, "What are you doing, man?" And I was like, "What?" turns out he was the owner. He was like one of the richest people in Greece's sons, and his bodyguards. I didn't know this because I was busy playing and talking trash. His bodyguards were gonna beat me up,
Oh my God.
and the kid called him off because he was like, he's American. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's an
No one
awesome
was allowed
story.
no one was allowed to disrespect this guy. But
Wow.
anyway,
Oh.
How
I didn't
old
even
was
know
he?
that
That's
it
crazy.
happened until my friend told me after the fact that I almost died.
How
Well, then
old
there
was
were-
he?
How old was
He
he?
almost died a couple times at free play too, but I got you back. I told him to back off.
He was like 17, 18, and he had 2 bodyguards. But I didn't know. I thought they were just his friends or his cousin. I didn't know. I was fresh off the boat. I didn't know anything about what was going on in Greece.
Oh, there was that other kid you played that one time, and you absolutely destroyed him, and he dedicated himself to basketball. And then didn't he won the MVP last year, didn't he?
Mhm.
What's his name? Giannis? Is that it? They call him Greek Freak?
No, he didn't have any money to play video games in those days.
Oh, that's true. He might have sold you some shoes or something.
Some what?
Some
Shoes or whatever. Yeah.
I was there in the early 90s, right when NBA Jam came out in America. I was there like the next year.
Never played like that back in the day. Like we played it on Sega, but it was. I mean, we just played it casually. Like, I never knew codes really or did anything like that until Sean.
Until you
that
played
cabinet.
Beltran and he put in the rebounding code.
Okay,
Nice.
well, I mean, I knew
Code.
Beltran from years
Sir,
ago, but we
Lord
didn't even know it.
Beltran doesn't need any cheat codes as long as this man right here, Chris Willow, is around. Isn't that right, Chris?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I am his cheat code.
You're damn right he is. Don't play the Magic
That's-
Carpet song again.
Oh my god.
See,
I do
everyone
feel
jokes
like-
around about that, but you gotta give props because that's your team, and it's like, I mean,
No, he's
like
the
how
general manager.
can-
He's the one that pays Willow's contract, so he's got to open them pocketbooks, and of course they're deep on Mount Beltran, but like,
balling, obviously.
yeah, he's gotta actually pony up the Beltran Bucks to get Chris Willow to play for Team Tiger Uppercut. So no, Michael Beltran deserves a lot of credit when it comes to NBA Jam
Yes,
and how he constructs
exactly.
a team of Chris Willow and anybody who puts on Chris Willow's team winning.
Yeah,
So
it's
They
paying
don't take
dividends,
another
clearly.
teammate on.
Hey, Willow and Beltran, I have a question. I know you guys have never lost in an official competition, but how
Mm-hmm.
many casuals have you guys lost ever?
Maybe. See, there was one in Arlington. We were the Mavericks against Andy.
Yeah,
Is
we
there-
got y'all once, but
Is it even more than a handful of times?
No.
No.
Hey,
There was-
Beltran, remember I played you one-on-one the first time we played one-on-one. Actually, the first time we played one-on-one, you beat me. The second time we played, and you were Sean. You were the Sonics,
Yeah.
and you went for a game-ending dunk.
Yep. That's
Which
right.
was wide open. It was a wide open dunk, and I was winning
Yeah.
by 1 point, and it was the last second, pretty much last second,
Yeah.
and like 2 seconds left, and it goes doink, off the
Doink.
back of the, and I'm like, yes,
That was so awesome.
I know, I
That
was like,
awesome.
yes, dude, we're 1-1.
I have a
Willow
funny
wouldn't have missed that
story.
dunk, by the way, just so you know.
yeah.
Willow was just watching from the clouds.
Laughing,
Here-
probably.
Yeah, here's a funny story for all you guys, actually, and I think maybe only. Actually, I don't think any of y'all know this story, but I know Orlando does. But before the league was a thing, okay, there was one night in Arlington, and it was just a normal. I think it was maybe just a normal Friday night, and some of us were hanging out in Arlington, and obviously me and Chris were there, and just out of nowhere, like these 2 or 3 guys walk in with this huge trophy. Okay.
Oh yes, I do remember
Was that me and
this.
Braylon and Matt?
No. This is legit.
No, I'm
Like,
saying-
just some random dudes walked in, and they came from somewhere. I don't know where they came, but they just came from. Well, they just came from winning this trophy. Okay, and I'll kid you not, it was a trophy. I think I still have a picture of it. And I forgot who initiated a conversation, but this trophy was an NBA Jam championship trophy. Okay, and
Oh.
and these guys came from somewhere. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if they were in a. Did you remember where they came from, Chris? You?
I have no idea. It was in a Tarrant County area. Oh, it may have been Retropalooza.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Maybe. I don't think it was that. It was like a totally random Friday night.
But it was a massive trophy. Like,
yeah, it was huge.
So big.
Yeah, it was like maybe 40 feet tall.
Like this thing would have totally fit in Beltran Mansion. It was that big.
Oh
like
my
you
God.
could bring it in through the front door. Like
yeah, massive. It was a huge trophy, and it said NBA Jam champions or something like that. And it was these two guys. And then of course, my ears perk up. It's like, oh really, NBA Jam, huh? And then I literally had to drag Chris off of Super Trovo and say, look what's over here. And then Chris, like his eyes literally changed from normal looking to fire. And he's like, what? Nobody's gonna bring no trophy into my arcade. And
did y'all play him 2-on-2?
His eyes went yoga fire.
Yeah, he literally went yoga fire, and so I was like, all right, Chris, let's do this. So I eventually talked to these two guys. Hey, me and my buddy, we want to play you guys, And well, Chris, I'll let you take over and finish the story.
Man, I don't remember how that game went down. I remember you're right though. I remember that was my exact reaction, was like no way is someone rolling into to this arcade and having an NBA Jam trophy without earning it first. Like it's all well and good if Chris Willow wants to win championships on the arcade cabs, but you just roll in with your trophy and expect to not be played? Come on now. So me and Beltran, we played them. We played them 2-on-2. The number is still like registering now with how many points me and Beltran scored on them.
Did y'all win?
We won.
And it's still ringing up
Good
right
job.
now.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh my goodness.
See,
yeah,
like I would tell you the story if we lost, but no, we won emphatically. They were sure about 2 minutes in that they had never played the game before, when we were and this is right after. This is like what? This is not.
We did. Go ahead.
Well, it wasn't far after the 24-hour, like the extra life challenge, and that's how Mike knew that I played the game. So
yeah,
not far removed from me playing 25 hours straight. So I was good and ready to go, and it was a beatdown for sure.
Yeah, we did. I do remember this. We did crack 100 on them.
Yes, we did. True. Yes, we did.
We did crack 100 on them.
Who'd y'all play with?
Don't even remember.
I don't remember that. Gosh, who did?
That matters. I was just wondering.
Yeah, gosh, that was.
So did y'all let them, Michael? Did you let them take their trophy home with them? That's your trophy now.
I mean, I jokingly said, "Let's play for the trophy," and they're like, "Okay, yeah," and then we destroyed them, and then
I don't mean jacket from them. I just mean
but they eventually they still took their trophy with them. But
I didn't want their trophy.
Yeah,
just wanted them to have to earn it if they're gonna wear it around here.
Yeah. So
wear it as a necklace and shit.
They can't look at that trophy anymore without sort of feeling
without remembering
that inside.
Yeah, it was tainted for sure. But yeah, that actually did happen. I might, if I'm, I might still have that picture. I would have to seriously.
I hope y'all do.
Yeah, I would have to look, because I took a picture of the trophy and the final score. And
well,
then,
to be fair, when the first time Jason rolled up with his buddies, he was saying that they were going to win that jam tournament. We had, was it 2018?
Because people were saying Chris Delp was trying to let us know, respectfully he was, but he was telling us, like, hey, you understand, like, we're like a league. This is like very professional, like good players, like basically like saying don't, because you had to pay to enter it, right? Wasn't it like a pay entry, I think?
Yeah. That was Spring Series NBA Jam.
Yeah. Right. So Chris Delp was like, this is the very first time I ever met Chris. First time I've ever walked into free play. All I did was see a NBA Jam tournament, and my friend Sean had the cabinet, which is was it called, Michael? The meme or the main, yeah. So whatever that is, and so we had played it 1-on-1, and then I come in there, and we're like, we're good at this. Now looking back, we were horrible, but
oh no,
like
y'all did
we didn't know how to push. Well, I know, but we didn't know how to push. We'd never seen pushing. Like we had been playing this whole time. Not one of us ever pushed one person ever.
Whoa.
Like, yeah, when we were in that tournament,
that's like playing NFL Blitz and not pass interfering.
Yeah.
Just what it is. It's just what it was. And then we played Beltran and Willow, and then Andy and his teammate. And I think those are the two teams that beat me and Braylon. And there was pushing. It was just not like we were complaining about it. We're like, oh, shoot. And I remember asking straight up, because me and Beltran were standing in the middle. And I was like, how do you do that? How do you push?
In the middle of the
And-
match.
I think so. I mean, he
No,
may
no,
not
it
remember,
was-
but I remember asking him. I remember asking him random because, like, I was like, "Yo, how you doing that, dude?" Like, because we'd already established it with each other, so we're homies,
Yeah, yeah.
kind of.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like-
yeah. Yeah, we're
so
cool.
it's like, yo, yeah, we're
Yeah.
cool. So I'm like, yo, how you do that?
Yeah, I think that was
That's why I
after
said
the
we were
game.
garbage.
I think it
But
was
yeah,
before-
Chris Delp was trying to warn us.
Well,
not to
this
enter.
is what I wanted to avoid, which was you guys getting like, if you walked in and got smoked by 150 points, like I didn't want you to walk away and be upset and never come back. Like I wanted you guys to be a part of it.
You were super cool.
Right. Yeah.
You
So
were
so if
100% respectful.
like if your first third strike experience is playing in a jazzy circuit like qualifier, like you're gonna run into a caliber of player that you could not even quantify, right? And that was what you were doing. You were rolling in very first time in Free Play Arcade, the NBA Jam Spring Series battle. Like that's pretty hardcore, and I just wanted to make sure you guys were ready for at
But you
least the
did perfect.
possibility.
You were completely nice. Like you were like, I always liked you from that point on because you were trying to inform us.
And
Well,
if
that's
you
what I
won, you
love
won.
about-
If you won, you walk away with the trophy, and
Third place.
you are our champion, and that would be cool. And you guys performed quite well. You were
Yeah, y'all did good.
yeah.
What's
Both
funny
your
is that
teams.
sure, yeah, they did well too, as well. But like to be honest with you, Beltran and Willow like kind of blew us away as far as like they're the one that eliminated us. I think. I know. Didn't we lose to you, Andy?
No, y'all lost to one of Ian's buddies and his brother, Bick,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh.
It's not. I don't remember what Ben.
Yeah, shout
think
out
is
to
his name.
Ben Mighty. Ben Mighty, who has watched the stream even during this period. He is a most notable as a third strike player within Free Play Arcade. However, he is a stone cold badass at NBA Jam and would be
Yes.
incredible within the league if we could ever talk him into joining with us.
But where's Ben at?
Playing third strike usually.
They actually knocked me and Ian out of that tournament too.
Yeah.
'Cause we weren't used to that. They play kind of like a slow down style.
Mhm.
Like there's not a whole lot of possessions and whatnot, and they milk the clock. And
Mhm.
yeah, we just didn't have an answer for it.
They were Monkus, right?
Yes, Monkus.
Let me leave the conversation to you guys for a sec. I'm going to be back, and don't move on to strategy talk without me, okay?
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Michael.
Yeah.
It's funny because we played in that tournament or whatever, and I remember after that I would come up to Free Play with or without any of my friends, and I thought that like my mind set. Now I know what's up with Free Play. I know like when you go, what the purpose is. It's Super Turbo or Third Strike pretty much, and I love Super Turbo now. So I get it. But remember, for the longest time, I would like hit up anybody that I knew that was playing in the league or anything like that. I'm like, yo, you trying to go play? Like, I only wanted to go play NBA Jam. And if y'all were playing like Super Turbo, I just started playing Super Turbo because I was waiting for y'all to be done playing Super Turbo to play a game with me of NBA Jam.
Yeah.
like,
No, that's
Super
true.
Turbo was. It is true for sure. Like, I'm like, fine. I remember how to play uppercuts, just jump around, blah blah. Like I would just mess around and play, and then I started liking it. But the whole reason I started liking it was because I was waiting for people that would possibly play with me, and a lot of times I would fail. I try to be cool. I try to be nonchalant. Hey, bro, you want to play?
Hey,
But in reality,
yeah.
I'm like only there for that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm hoping we do, get, once all this is over, we get things back up and running again so we can all play, this, as well as everything
Great.
else.
And
I mean,
the
it's
season's going
At
good.
Hangtime
I
and
like-
Andy's things like this. Tight.
I like the format of the league much better like this. We got a crowd.
Yeah.
He's got a buzz. People are watching.
Yeah, definitely.
Post game.
More exciting.
Feel like, yeah, it's just
Oh,
better,
way
better,
more
right?
exciting.
Well, not only that, some of the teams that are still learning things learn from watching the other teams.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Having fun doing it.
Mhm.
because then they have a good time. The people that aren't as good as some of the other people, then they like still have fun because when they do have a good game, it's like everyone sees it and they know that that person's like just did their best game.
Well, even
And,
yeah,
Like one time, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
go on.
Like hell yeah.
and everyone's levels improving.
Mhm.
Everybody.
Yeah, that is true.
Games are getting harder and harder, which is more fun.
Yeah.
one of my favorite games is still the one between the two new teams this season.
Oh,
with
yeah.
J-Pong and Jose. I think we're playing Cloud and Arthur.
Yes.
That was a pretty hype game.
Cloud
I mean,
did
that-
a great job that game.
Yeah, like that was really coming down to
I
the
think.
end. Yeah, absolutely.
If that's the game I'm thinking of.
That was almost the game-winning shot type scenario. I think towards the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. It was really
Okay.
close.
It wasn't the one that Andy shot that game when he shot that first time we had it, the Hangtime League
The
thing.
buzzer beater.
Like with every, yeah, like didn't Andy win a game like that?
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that, Jason.
Yeah.
It was against you
Octavia
guys.
does not want to talk about that.
Well, I'm not trying to cause a negative feelings.
Well-
I'm just saying that was tight. Like that was
Yeah,
like
it was
a
an
freaking
exciting
close ass game. Yeah.
Mike,
I seem
quick
to be
question.
on the losing
that
end
shit's
of these close buzzer beater type situations.
Well, look at it this way, Octavia. When people
One of them, Octavio. Not every one of
Yeah.
them. Remember?
Yeah, but that wasn't in the league.
Oh yeah, you're
What were
right.
you gonna say, Andy?
y'all are like I don't know, I guess like the Spurs in the sense that yeah, they don't always win, but when you knock them out, you pretty much have to slay the dragon in order to beat them.
Yeah,
Just like
dragon.
y'all had that close one with Tiger Uppercut earlier this season. Y'all had that really close one with us, and like even before this season when you were with Mark, that the game that y'all had against Larry Birdman went down to the final shot as well.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I'm saying. It seems like a trend. I'm not very pleased.
Jerry in that game?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I saw that game too. I was just saying if that's the game I was thinking of. Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, that was the
Hey.
first round upset.
Wasn't the Spring Series Money Tournament? Wasn't that our first debut as a team?
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was actually. That was our first time playing together in years. You know, I mean, it's been years. Like we did not get a practice game or anything like that going into it. We just kind of like,
Y'all won, obviously.
yeah.
Every
Yeah, that's
game?
the one where you were there.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
still
that
don't know
one.
Why I didn't
Yeah.
enter into that.
Oh, but I thought y'all played in the league. That y'all were a
No,
game team.
no,
or something.
no. I mean,
they
like,
were starting the league. We hadn't
Yeah,
played the games yet.
Oh, I thought that tournament was
No,
like.
no, it had
somehow in
started
the middle
a
of the
few
league.
months before.
So who was Beltran's teammate before that?
Well, from what Mike told me, when y'all were growing up, the tournaments that y'all went to, y'all just always happened to play against each other.
Yes.
I meant that specific free play league.
oh yeah, no. That wouldn't the league wasn't a thing yet before Spring Series. It was
In
Oh.
Arlington.
yeah
In Arlington.
after in Arlington after Spring Series.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
when the league started.
Okay,
going up.
I didn't
So,
know that. I thought
Yeah.
y'all had been playing in a league.
No.
We might have already started in Richardson at that point, but I know Arlington, they always had trouble
Gotcha.
trying to get it up and running.
Yeah, we
early
hadn't
on.
played our first game yet in the season.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
So,
so
we
it was
took part in
years.
your first win.
Now, here's
Yeah.
a funny story. Here's a funny story about the NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Everybody knows which team we play with on there. But what you don't know is I had to talk Mike into trying that team.
Yes,
He
that
was
is true.
so into the
Screw that
Houston
team.
Rockets
Nope.
Nope.
that he refused to
Nope.
play Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Right, but Houston Rockets, of course. Here, I've got a picture.
Oh,
Actually,
jam.
then-
NBA jam.
This conversation was going fine until
What comes
oh,
in?
yeah. No, I
It's
was
just,
wanting
it's just
to
under
play
here under
with-
Beltran.jpg. There it is.
I was wanting to play with the Knicks, actually.
Mhm.
That'd be Houston and
Oh, because that's why you pick Osagai, because of the Knicks colors, right?
who's the
No,
jam
no.
Houston team.
On tournament edition, I'm not too sure. It's Elijah Wan and
Elijah Wan and Thorpe,
Torrey. Is it Thorpe?
right?
Otis Thorpe or Robert Horry, one of them,
Oh.
or maybe both.
Yeah.
Probably
I
both.
know the Genesis roster had both of them. The arcade one, God, who was it? Jeez.
I love Andy's info. the Genesis roster and then the
Yeah.
Dreamcast roster. And then
Well, it's different because like
I
Deadlift
know.
isn't on Seattle in the arcade version, which threw me off because it's like, oh man, do we need to change our name? So
Yes. Just the answer's all encompassing yes.
But yeah, I had to convince him to try out the Charlotte Hornets, and after a couple games, he was like, "Yeah, no, I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, no, this is
They
great. Yeah.
Seem like they're an okay team.
Cannot stand them. You know what another little quick funny story is? Remember, Chris, at the end of that spring series, I guess, tournament thing, but whatever, the first time we came, you were cool. Y'all gave us an envelope with some money in it, which we gave to the bartenders no matter what was in it, because like we didn't win. We weren't butthurt about it. Me and Braylon are
Supporting the venue.
and but so if we don't get first, we know there's not a lot of money in it, so I don't even open it. So I just give it to the bartender as the tip. We paid our tab, which was homegirl. What's her name? She's cool and nice.
LMA.
Yeah, LMA, super cool and nice. So like she was super cool and nice and stuff like that. So we just gave that to her. But then you gave me a green shirt that said 3rd annual spring series, and I thought it was a 3rd place shirt because it had 3. And so I respectfully took it because I'm not going to be a dick or sorry for language. Shout out Sonic Matt if he is.
So, Matt,
But
You're not going to be a Richard.
I get Penelope. Don't worry, we're going to remember your questions at the end of this.
That is, but yeah, sorry. But I gave it away because I didn't want a 3rd place shirt. And then later on, I saw Braylon wearing it, and it says like 3rd annual spring series, and I was like, oh, I thought that said 3rd place. And like, I'm gonna wear a 3rd place shirt. I gave it away to a kid.
That's a collector's item now, man.
So how many more teams are there going to be in the league on the next season? Has there been any interest?
We have to see how many survive the coronavirus, bro.
No, but I mean, Andy, have people approached you, Chris? Do you think there's going to be more teams?
Chris has sent me a few people. I don't know. I think they're just kind of stragglers at this point, like
trans boys,
single
tattoos.
people.
Yeah, maybe those guys. Maybe the guys from the tattoo shop in Arlington.
Yeah, I hope they come out because they are talented players. Good enough to beat Beltran with the Mavericks. They were playing the Mavericks.
Secret tournament having mother effers.
Beltran was playing whatever, and got beat.
I was messing with Beltran for sure that night that Chris showed me that he won a tournament. I'm like, you went to an NBA Jam tournament? What? And he's like, yeah, look at this. I was like, give me that info. I'm blowing it up.
Have you guys been out there?
The coronavirus thing happened about 3 or 4 weeks later, and I was just waiting for it. I mean, I basically just hit him up and just was like, actually, I didn't hit him up. I just talked on the Facebook thing, and then one of them, Urban, the one that says like Urban something, and he was like, yo, bro, come play some time. And I was like, absolutely. But I, of course, have not gone.
That's
because the coronavirus thing.
It's in Arlington. Let me see here.
His name has Urban in it.
Tattoo Studio is what we're referring to. Urban's Tattoo Studio.
But I don't know him personally.
They have an NBA Jam, original NBA Jam there that Free Play Arlington's former general manager Orlando helped them keep up. So it's in good condition, and they some good players
the champion. There. Who's the champion at that tattoo shop tournament? Wise.
Probably the owner and like another guy. I can't remember the other guy's name, but there's at least 2 or 3 very good players over there.
Who won that tournament?
Well, it was going to be originally a team thing, and me and Chris were teaming up, but we ended up.
There's not enough teams to come because no one invited anybody.
Well, that I was told it was an invitation only type thing. That's what I was told.
Oh, come on, man.
And
only you would get invitation only invites.
for full disclosure,
I'm just playing.
For full disclosure, I did get an invite as well.
All mother effers.
I
got mad Nerf guns.
Yeah,
everyone's getting blasted.
Yeah, so I was formally invited, and then of course, naturally, I told Willow he had plans that weekend, and then so I told Chris. And Chris,
I also had plans that weekend.
Yeah, he also had plans that weekend with a ticket stop.
Came in and beat
Yeah.
everybody.
And then after that, I was like, well, if Chris can't do it, then I'd hit up Andy. And then,
Just,
so
just
it
going
was,
through his
but-
Rolodex of opponents.
yeah, I was,
The answer to my question, which was who won,
well, we ended up doing singles, and then Chris ended up winning, and I got second.
bam, Chris Dealt, baby.
Oh man, very nice.
So you can get Michael.
Hey,
When I
is,
invite people, it blows up
Mike.
in your face. Your friend Chris
Mike,
wins.
And Chris won, and Chris won by 1 point too.
That's even cooler. So
Was
glad
that-
What in the final? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Please.
it was 1 point.
how did your first? Is that the one that I heard about? You had that great first round in.
That's
Uh,
it's the one where he got bounced by the Dallas Mavericks by a Dallas Mavericks player who worked at a tattoos parlor.
yeah, I mean that's how. Well, Chris essentially took over the whole thing, and they had the tournament set up their way, but then they were like, "Here, you do it," and Chris redid the entire bracket, and somehow after
guys are super nice and cool. Like one guy hit me up, the one that actually has the tattoo shop in his name, or whatever the name Urban is in the name. But he hit me and be like, "Oh, you go to secret tournaments, just messing around. You know, we don't care. Who cares?" But he hit me up and he's like, "Hey, bro, come play sometime." So he's like super cool and nice. So they may join. Like going back to Octavio, like if Beltran hits them up, they may come.
yeah,
After.
hopefully they will. Yeah, hopefully we at
Is there
least
a tattoo shop doing good?
I mean,
like,
you know how
Fire
everything's
is
going
how
right
they
now.
survive.
So it is what it is right now.
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
How's free play going, Chris?
We
I
are
also think
closed. We are
it's-
closed, and I am laid off. We have no employees, so not well. We're just trying to survive. That's why we're hitting the link up there, freeplayinc.com/savethearcade, asking for
Right, right.
donations because it is more than bleak. We're straight up closed, and there are no employees. We are laid off. I'm on emergency unemployment.
Do a green screen background with like an unemployment line.
Well, I'm working on my NBA Jam one first.
Yeah.
I also think that the four-person team should be no more than 3. I think it'd be more fun if some of those teams, because
Right.
there's really good players that only
alternate?
get to play half a game.
Alternate, yeah. Because then we could even pick up a person that may not be like if I know I have some friends that are good at it, but obviously they haven't been coming through. But what I mean is like, when there's several good players, instead of having 4 good players on one team, you could have 2 good players and maybe someone, and no disrespect to Cloud or anyone like that, but someone that's new to the game like Jose, which has done a great job. Cloud did a great job. Someone like that joining a team with 2 other players that may be more experienced is kind of like a cool thing.
Yeah, the
And
main thing
for the
above all
stats.
else is commitment, I'd say.
It's all about the commitment, yeah. Who's gonna actually show up? I always show up, and I got Geronimo randomly, my homie. Jeremy,
been great
shout
at
out to him.
He's good when he's
I
not
just
playing
meet
first
Jeremy
line.
randomly at Free Play Arlington. He
Really? You
knows
met him there?
nothing about. Dude,
Yeah.
it was crazy, random. I
thought
just
you-
happened to
thought
come
you were
up and
just an old
play.
friend.
That was you met him
at Free Play Arlington.
at the Extra Life. He was there.
Yeah, that's what. That's
No,
what
but
I
we had met
first
him
got.
before that though.
Oh, that's a
We
great.
met him. We
background.
invited him to the Extra Life. Was
Oh.
the Extra Life the one where it lasts all night long?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Well, we had met him before that and invited him to that, and that was like the first time we played more than like he beat me 1-on-1. I'm not saying I'm all bad, awesome at it. I'm just 1-on-1, which is rare for a random person that you just see at the arcade to beat you 1-on-1. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
doesn't normally happen unless they're part of the league or someone we know. And then we started talking. I told him like there's a league and everything like that, and he's cool and everything. And then we're friends now. It's just a random, and it was great for us because the rest of my 4 guys that are all good at the game aren't committed. Like Andy was saying, they're not all committed. Braylon was going through some personal stuff, so like give him a pass. But the other 2 dudes, like Sean and Logan, aren't committed, which is understandable. If you're not committed, they're not faking it. They're not saying they are. So it's what it is. But then I meet Geronimo, which is Jeremy, and he's down anytime. Like, you know what I mean? And he's good. Like, So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, kind of along those same lines of what you said, Jason. Kind of a informal poll for all of y'all. For the people who live closer to Denton or Arlington or even Fort Worth, once things are back up and running again, if there was like a dedicated, if there was enough interest near each respective location to have a dedicated league in that specific spot, would y'all be more interested in playing at whatever location is your main one, or would y'all, because Richardson is established, would y'all still want to make the trek over there?
I like everybody being in the same place and it being like
The same place, and hang time seems to be the game.
Well,
Okay.
and I also like, because it's not just while you're playing, it's also like getting to know people and making friends and the social aspect and kind of the community coming together. That's just my 2 cents.
Okay, because I know there have been a few people up in Denton who have expressed interest as well. And I've been talking a little with Chris and Zeke about like how I can kind of start up communities in those locations without interfering with what we've already got going, which is a really good thing.
I know Lego and Benito are like quality, like, you know what I mean? Like they could play, like they know what's up.
Yeah.
Because I played them both in Denton when I've gone there.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't mind if it was, instead of being a 4-hour thing, if it was a 6-hour thing. You're not playing the whole time, but the rest of the time you're chewing the fat with people and watching.
Tavio's bored and wants friends.
Are you talking like something where you play like the first half of the game, the first couple hours, and then have like an hour where everybody just mingles, talks?
No, I just mean that if there was more teams and more people and it was a longer day, that's fine with me.
Tavio's like, can we do a dating thing?
Jeez.
Denton is a ways out there. They have some players. They have the Denton Finance Clan, and they're certainly willing to play whatever. I don't know. I think if you can set them up with the means to run their own, their own insular league, right? And then invite their champion over to have like a playoff or something else, just like an exhibition or whatever, like the FIBA World Championships, right?
Maybe like the champion comes over to play the champions of other leagues.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would work. Even though like, I guess my dream would be to have multiple divisions. The thought of like doing like each location is its own league, and then has a champion, and then we have some sort of special event where they face each other.
Right, or Lego says the Hangtime League can try to join their league. Yeah, either way.
Or if it
I
was
think
like
this going good now though, man. Like as far as playing all hang time in Richardson, if you can, because they're probably not going to be able, just like Arlington. Me, Braylon, Beltran, and Willow were the only people that showed up every single time it was time to play. No disrespect to anyone else,
but
just like that's Arlington.
I will say Denton's a special beast because it's across the pond. It's further out than even Arlington is. So
it's a lot more crowded next to the Caps.
Right. Well, but also like those players like Lego can make it out for like an ST monthly sometimes. Like it's quite the trek for him. Even with all considerations to how far it is for Arlington players. It's just they have players there. They're not going to be able to really viably come to the league events once a month at Richardson. So I don't know. Like helping them establish their own thing, and then we can have a tournament of the champions. That sounds like the way to go. I think. I don't know. I mean, Lego's in the chat, so
Sounds
you
great.
let us know too.
Yeah, I mean, if we can do that like how we used to, where there was the Arlington division and Richardson division, well, then there will be just the Denton division and Richardson division, and then both winners of both play each other for the ultimate.
Well, understand that you're
like
talking semantics too, whether it's divisions or other leagues or whatever. As long as they're flying the free play banner, right? We're all on the same team ultimately, but like it's however you phrase it, like they need something over there so that they can play on the very, very good NBA Jam 2.0 cabin.
You get Derek
The fatality.
and Faulkner to play NBA Jam, so Derek and Faulkner can join Lego and Benito, and they can play some 2-on-2s because there's not 4 people in Denton that will play. There literally is not 4 people that play. So it's like, but Derek and Faulkner, Derek works there. We're speaking as if
Derek,
everything is
Faulkner,
not coronavirus.
Lego, Cloud, we've already named 4 in this chat.
Is Evilness?
There we go then. Cloud.
Evilness is your reigning Tuesday Night Fights King of Fighters 98
Talking about
champion.
NBA Jam.
He's in Arlington.
Okay.
I think it should be like the Champions League is in soccer, where, for example, Richardson has a bunch of teams that turns out now that we're doing the league together, are really good, whereas Arlington only had 2 teams, and who knows how many Denton has. So instead of it necessarily being the champion from each league, like if you have a bigger league, let's say, because in soccer, for example, the Premier League, they get 4 teams in the Champions League. The Greek League only gets 1 team in the Champions League. So if we did it like that, where Richardson doesn't get punished just because there's more players, and that way you had like a tournament of champions, but it would be like 3 from Richardson, 2 from Arlington. Does that make sense? Like to reflect the size and the talent in the league.
Yeah.
As opposed to Richardson just being a brutal gauntlet, and then Arlington is just, Willow and Beltran just skate to the finals. Not saying
Beltran, did you hear? Anyway. Do you hear what he said? He said Richardson's a brutal gauntlet.
Well, and to be fair, that was the issue we ran into the first season where, no disrespect to the other teams that were playing at the time, but I know Willow and Beltran, that first season, y'all were winning by like 100 each game. Whereas in Richardson, we were just beating the crap out of each other every week.
That was weird. The Arlington division year was super, super weird because, so I started the league. I was the commissioner, but I got in over my head immediately. Not immediately. I ran it for several weeks, but like there was a point where it was just like, I need to pass on the commissionership, right? And it went to Chase and went to you guys, and like the number 1 seed didn't get to play in the Arlington tournament, which I think that's casting aspersions on Arlington. The number 1 seed was excluded from the playoff tournament.
What do you mean?
Because someone didn't. Yeah,
the first date didn't work for Beltran, so they changed the date for Beltran, and then that second date didn't work for the number 1 seed, so they weren't in the tournament.
Number 1 seed would always be Beltran and Willow and Arlington.
There were 2 undefeated teams that year.
It was you guys.
Yes.
No, it was Matt Johnson and Cody.
I told you there was a league before me and Braylon came. Beltran. There was a league before me and Braylon came.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, that's that one. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I knew there was something because y'all told me, and I talked to Matt because me and him played like just casually for fun.
And he could play,
he was telling me about how. Yeah, and he was like, no, we were cool for sure. But he was just telling me about how they had not lost, so that makes complete sense. I'd never even talked about it, but that makes 100% coincides with what Matt said. Because Matt's the guy with the beard.
Right.
As is Cody.
Right. So he was like, yeah, in the other league, because me and him played, like, who cares who won or lost, but I was saying we just played around casually, and then he was like, oh, it's awesome that you, like, he was being super cool, and like, it's awesome you guys are playing. We played last time and we went undefeated.
Right, completely undefeated, and then was excluded from the playoffs by scheduling. And don't get me wrong, I think Beltran and Willow would have crushed them. However, it just never got to play out.
Yeah,
so there were problems.
Crushed almost everyone.
Right, and I think that would have been the result there. But it was super weird throughout the Arlington League division. So. But I mean, with more players, it would work. With more players, it would work. If Evilness plays NBA Jam, it just didn't work out. That
awesome game though. Like it's an awesome game to have a league about. Like it's a
cool.
Perfect game to have a league.
It's so cool. Like the fact that NBA Jam League gets mentioned around the country.
Yeah, and Chris. Honestly, no kissing butt because I don't need to do that. But just to straight up be factual, you are like keeping all of this alive, honestly. And shout out to you, honestly. It's like straight up, shout out to you from me. And because like this is the exact type of game that like, I wouldn't even be at free play without it. So now I love Super Turbo, but before I wouldn't even come there. about Super Chobo. And these little things, these little nuances, I guess you'd say, one-off games that are perfect for leagues and stuff like that, which NBA Jam, in my opinion, is.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. And then Andy
Yeah.
for like making it happen in.
Yeah, Andy's
Richardson.
the steward now. Like, he's the commissioner, and NBA
I
Jam
know.
League would no longer be a thing if it wasn't for Andy. So I started it. I care about it. I support it for sure. But
Well, Andy,
much like
props,
this,
sure, yeah.
much like this stream not being able to happen without Jerry or Ian or Ray, like straight up, even with all the might of free play and it's basically last hour, that was what we dedicated it to, was making sure the stream would be able to keep going. It would not have happened without those guys, and it's the same way with Andy. He's the guy who's keeping the torch alive for NBA Jam League.
So of course,
Hangtime stuff.
props-
And the background is dope too, Chris.
I hear Baby Ray.
No, it's not Baby Ray. It should be just straight up Ray.
Well, your
Ray.
voice is Baby Ray. That's what I mean.
Oh, fair.
Ray talk.
Well, I just giving you an update. We're playing top 8 right now. I smoked the hell out of that dude playing that deck. We top 4, baby.
Hell yeah. We want the
What is that
gold.
game. What is that
Well,
game?
It's Magic the Gathering Arena. Extra Life
Okay.
is doing a charity tournament that I am top 4 in right now.
Well,
I've already
Nice.
knocked out one WotC employee. I'm gonna have to knock out the other WotC employee.
Ray be going hard.
Nice.
I'm about to wreck.
Sounded like an e-break there. But yes, yeah, go get him, man. Go get him.
So I think one of the reasons that NBA Hangtime is so perfect for a league, and even though it drives me crazy, the midway, magic that happens, it also makes every game, even the best team on any given, when midway does its magic on any given game, anybody can win.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one of those games where it's just like, oh, if you have an advantage, it gets exacerbated. Sometimes the computer will put its finger on the scale, and even though it's frustrating in the moment, it actually makes it more exciting because any game is a game.
How you guys feel about that? Computer assistance. That's a hot topic.
Yeah.
It exists.
It exists.
It does.
Doesn't tell me otherwise.
And actually, even when it's turned off, there is a certain point gap that it will turn itself back on, even
Of
in tournament
course.
mode.
Yep.
A million
It's
percent.
part of the game, is my opinion. It's like you can't help, like, because if it's nothing we can do about something, if there's absolutely nothing we can do, of course we want zero computer assistance. But if we can't do anything about it, and we all know it, and we all agree upon it, then it's like, what can we do other than just acknowledge that it's going to be happening?
Yeah. No, we certainly do. I mean, it is the game. The game's the game. It just, man, I
Chris even gets frustrated when me and you play one-on-one for casuals and stuff like that. Chris Delp, when we play one-on-one casuals and you start like, if I've been in front, you come back, you'll be like, oh, that was computer assistance. That can be, but to me, I'm like, well, just what it is, man. It's like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
like,
it's
happened.
eternally frustrating to me because if your teammate, your CPU assisted teammate is just going nuts, like, when you and me play in singles and we'll watch as like my teammate will just decide, and we've turned CPU assistance off. We're on tournament mode,
time.
and then
Always.
and then you watch my teammate just literally like walk into the corner of walk over here, right, and then just stand there, just like literally stand there, and I'll like run in figure eights around you and your teammate, and then just point at the guy just standing there, like, what is he doing? And the moment I pass it, he'll run into your CPU-assisted teammate so that he could pass the ball to the other team. It is infuriating. I don't like it. Not a fan. It is part of
I
the
try to
game.
block it out.
It
I
is
try to
part of
block
the
it
game.
out.
It is part of the game. You have to play through it. It'll cost you victories. And
Absolutely.
it won't let you turn it off in full. It's infuriating.
M doesn't
but
do it
just
as much
is what it is.
as hang time.
Maximum hang time too. Hang time did it.
I don't know what other hang time is. Maximum hang time is the only one I've ever played.
Yeah. It just is what it is, man.
But as hardcore on that.
There's also those games where even with computer assistance turned on, it's 2-on-2. You go to your normal shots
Yeah,
that
and it just start
are high
clanking.
percentage shots, and they just clank all
Yeah.
game long.
It's infuriating. And then then you'll have games that are incredibly low scoring because none of the shots can go in. It's so weird. I mean, I still, don't get me wrong, I still love NBA Jam and NBA Hangtime and NBA Showtime, but like CPU assistance, I would wish into the cornfield forever. At least when it comes to
play
competition.
games with Chris
It
Dell.
does.
Oh, never
It
mind.
does
Go ahead.
make the league more competitive, though.
But, it does, and it makes for some really cool matches. Especially, like, I think of the first NBA Jam when you couldn't turn it off. Like, you just can't turn it off, and then you get 3 of the 4 quarters end in full court shots and screaming and yelling. Like I've had some moments where people are literally jumping up and down with NBA Jam. So it's definitely a good thing that should be in the game, maybe even standard in the game. And then when you turn tournament mode on, it should go away and hide.
Yeah.
Right.
One Chicago tournament I saw recently, the guy actually won. I think he won by 1 point on a full court heave just out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's what you
the
did.
guy oh no, mine was half court.
Oh,
There,
okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was some CPU
No diss.
that had to do with that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I think
Right.
the percentage thing said 5%. Like looking back at the replay, so it's like, I don't know, the CPU gods were smiling on us that day.
Yeah, you should. I wish you guys could all see the look on Mike's face when that happens to him.
I have seen the face when it happens to him. I've definitely seen it. It's a
I
bad
had a
beat. That's a bad beat.
What does his face do?
face.
It looks like when you force him to wear a Mavs jersey and not a Rockets jersey.
Jeez.
And vice versa.
Now, I do know how to get out of my contract with Mike if I ever wanted to get out.
Oh shoot! I'm
well,
all
let me
ears,
just go ahead
Willow.
and mute Mike here, and he's muted.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go
All
ahead
right.
and drop Mike.
Let's
A
hear it.
simple phrase. All I would have to do is be, I'm no longer going to play with you if you will not admit that Adon is better than Sagat.
All right, there, you're back, Mike. You're back.
Has to be proven.
Oh my god. Oh my
It has
god.
to be proven. That crap has to be proven.
I mean, I've seen it
Oh.
proven every time
It's
Beltran
not
and
on
Willow
Super
get on
Turbo
them Street
anyway.
Fighter sticks.
Oh my god.
That's alpha, right? Is that alpha,
Every Street Fighter game, Willow dominates Beltran. It's crazy. Even Super Turbo.
Oh,
We've gone back and forth lately, but there was a time when he and I played a lot of alpha back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
A
Willow
lot
played
of alpha.
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's
That's
he
how
at?
many
then?
like.
You're more of a third strike guy, right, Willow?
No, Street Fighter 2.
Okay.
Champions Edition.
Yeah,
Champion,
champion and
okay.
hyper.
Yeah, he can play some O-Ryu. He'd give you all you could handle, Jason.
It's the knee kicker, which I guess you compare with Sagat. I know who he is because I played Alpha 2 back. I played it.
Oh, yes, I've played
But-
Sagat. God knows how many times.
Alpha 2 Sagat's pretty good,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm
imagine
used to old style Sagat.
but the Adon's on Alpha 3, right?
and
Mhm.
two.
And 2, yeah.
As well. I mean, I don't know.
And I have beaten Sagat with Adon as Michael's.
Yeah, there were many long nights, 20 some odd years ago, where
Just you in his arms.
it was just me and Chris and Alpha and Up and
Hot
all
cocoa.
that stuff. Yeah, hot cocoa, all that. Yeah, it was many. Oh man, many. And
I
then-
didn't know Willow played Street Fighter. What Willow? Why don't you now with
Whoa.
this
Cutting out
COVID?
there.
But
I don't play it as much now.
I know. But why don't you ever come to the arcade and play?
Yeah, I play it occasionally when I'm up there, but mostly I just play Jam, Hang
I
Time.
know, and I appreciate that.
All you got, Jason.
my-
All you got to do is just go to Chris and challenge him. I'm sure he'll play you. And Willow, you'll do fine.
And I was just wondering if I didn't know he even play. I thought he only played. I thought he was like the Yoda of Jam and Hang Time and stuff like that. And he was obviously the best player ever to listen to Planet Earth. All those kind of things with that, and that's the only reason he had the time to show.
When it goes to hang time, I'm always wondering if Mike is searching the internet for tournaments all over the nation because
He
he's
definitely
invited me
is.
to go to other states.
Yeah,
Many-
wasn't there one in Maryland or like New England that you posted however many months ago?
Arizona, actually.
Hmm.
There's one in Arizona. There was one in New York in December, and I was this close to going.
By Seneca, we just had a guest that was at that tournament.
Yes, yeah, and
wow.
Mega Man X, the Street Fighter player, he
And
ended
Mutant
up.
XP, the founder of Jazzy Circuit, he was there.
Who won that tournament? Like the guy Mega Man.
The,
Who's Mega
the
Man?
best NBA Jam player in the country, Mega Man X.
Well, hopefully he doesn't bring his trophy to free play.
Yeah,
It was also a one-on-one.
It doesn't
Hopefully he
matter.
does, really.
Apparently, they let him walk away with it.
If we can
No, I'm
get
just
if we
playing.
can get free play back open, I can get you Mega Man X there.
Is
That
Mega
was
Man X a
already in the
player that we
plans.
know his real name? Like, who is Mega Man X?
I mean, it's Anthony Hicks.
He's not in the league though.
Hmm.
Like he's not in our
But if
Hangtime
I-
League.
No.
No,
If I remember
no,
right-
he lives in New York.
Oh, gotcha.
That was a one-on-one tournament, though. It wasn't a
No,
two-on-two.
that was a 2-on-2.
It was a two-on-two.
Uh-huh.
I thought I saw a video of a one-on-one for the championship on Genesis or something like that.
No, this one was Jam
It was
TE
hentai.
Arcade, I believe.
Ah,
Although, like you said, Beltran gets around. And he shows you all the tournaments. He shows us about 30% of the tournaments, and he shows the public 0%.
Yeah, he's the king of secret tournaments.
I think he wants to win. He wants to be known as the champion of NBA Jam, NBA.
Well, he is right now, and so are you.
Every
Like,
tournament out there, no
Uh,
matter
y'all
where.
are the champions.
You're
When you omit other
there's-
teams, it kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
There's only one NBA Jam League that I know of. And if you want to be the NBA Jam champion, you got to win that league. And these two guys here, Beltran and Willow, are that
Damn.
champion. So
Uh.
you can win other tournaments other places if they want to throw their one-off tournaments, but they don't count. Like they count, but like you. The first thing I won the famed secret jam tournament at the tattoo parlor, and I grabbed the cash prize and I tossed it to Beltran and I was like, "There's your finder's fee," and we walked out the door.
Shoot.
Like
Shots
that
fired,
did not
Beltran.
matter. Like it was cool. It was cool seeing more jam players and all, and I certainly invited them to the league and I hope they join. But winning it as far as a pride point. NBA Jam League is where it's at. You guys get together once a month. You do it right. You do it on an arcade cab. Like, there's no excuses, and there's no second. That trophy is the biggest one in
Right.
my mind. And I'm looking at New York, and I'm looking at Wisconsin or wherever they do it. They don't have a league. We have a straight league, and
We would get top 3 or top 4 out of the teams.
But I do want to expand the league as much as possible when it comes back. There are more players out there. There are more players in the DFW Metroplex for NBA Jam, NBA Hangtime. There are. I want to reach them. I really want to bring them in. Like, honestly, I feel like there are players
I
that
found
could,
one, dude. I found one.
please bring them in. Bring them in. Like, always. Everybody's welcome. New players are certainly welcome. And we bring in new players all the time. But, like, there are sleeping giants out there that would challenge for the MVP of our league in the DFW area. Like, that good. We just got to find them and get them into the league somehow.
What about Luca and Porzingis? How do we get them in?
Yeah, Beltran, pull your strings and get
you
that
snort?
Luca kid in there.
Yeah.
Don't you get to meet them at
Keep
the
it on the
like
phone.
season ticket meet and greet, Beltran? Isn't there like a season
That-
ticket?
Owes me $20.
they
anyway.
haven't
I'll
done
holler.
that in a couple of years.
Mike,
Yeah.
text Cuban. You've got his number.
I don't have Mark Cuban's number.
I gotta say,
Michael Brad Edwards knows him.
They also look at him really weird with the rocket shirt on.
Oh my God!
So
He
it's-
lost
it's-
the
it's-
bet.
How you be losing bets?
I lost the bet.
Uh-huh.
Just
Right.
loyal to
I
my
know.
team.
What was the bet?
It was basically me and my buddy Paul Orgiz's girlfriend. She's a huge Rockets fan. And 2 years ago, I was like, all right, I know the Mavericks are down, but we'll beat you guys in the season series, and
Oh.
well, that didn't happen. So as
Uh-huh.
a punishment,
Warriors shirt.
I had to wear that shirt that she got for me
You've
out in
told this
public.
It's a
nonsense
free play.
story so many times. I think you believe it now.
I didn't hear the first time. I know that it was I knew it was a bet loss, but I assumed it was on the actual Mavericks losing.
Check the lore.
Yeah. It was the Mavericks versus Rockets season series, and the winner or the loser had to wear the
Season
other person's
series.
shirt. Yeah, season series. Had to wear the other person's shirt, either anytime they played, whether it be home or away, the other person had to wear it. So if they were out in public, they had to wear it out in
No
public.
matter who they played against.
Yeah, just if when they played against each other, whether it be
Okay.
home or away. Yeah.
So
So
two times.
Okay, so you
No,
lost.
no.
So you
Not
lost
four.
that and had to wear her shirt. So you were wearing a girl's shirt.
No. She
Oh,
bought.
she got him
his
the
shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
See,
Yeah.
The story
Yeah.
starts to fall
The
apart
picture
when you really
admits
examine it.
Yeah.
No.
Delp was calling you a liar blatantly.
He
He
has
can
nothing
only
better
think-
to do.
You can only think on the fly so quickly.
Yeah, he has nothing else better to do apparently. But yes, that whole thing was So like,
Believe you.
if the Mavericks and Rockets played, no matter if it was here or there, I had to wear that shirt. And if I was out in public,
Okay.
I'd have to wear it. When they played here, obviously I went to that game. I had to wear it at the AAC as well. Yeah,
What happened? You like
Yeah,
your
it
homies didn't jump you?
it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. It was not pretty at
What's
all.
the name of your friend that was playing NBA Jam at Ticket Stock? You don't
You.
remember? him? Oh my goodness! He literally pulled a Beltran buck out of his wallet.
That's Gene.
Gene.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, Gene. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's the Gene. He works at the AAC.
How did he react to seeing you in your,
Oh my
in your
God!
favorite jersey?
You'll have to ask him next time you see him. But yeah, it was all those people up there at the AAC. It wasn't pretty. It was not pretty at all.
You guys, okay, you guys don't know this. So the real story on that secret tournament day was I was at Ticket Stock that day with the NBA Jam playing games, and this guy comes up to me, apparently Gene, and he's like, "Oh, you're with Free Play Arcade. You play NBA Jam. I know somebody who goes to Free Play Arcade all the time." And I was like, "Well, maybe I've heard of this person once because I get that all the time." And I was like, "Okay, so who do you know?" Michael Beltran, and he pulls out his $5 Beltran. Have you been giving that as tips at the AAC?
I don't know how he got that.
You didn't
to
give
be
it as
honest
tip,
with
he said?
you. I didn't give it as a tip. I didn't give it as a tip. I don't know how Gene got it. I honestly
Come
do
on,
not
dog.
know how he got it.
Tip your bartenders, dog.
But, yeah,
I mean, apparently he does, but so yeah, he pulls a Beltran
the
buck out
funniest
of his
thing I've ever heard
wallet.
Chris say ever in my life. You cheap mother.
Oh
you
my
know that you're a celebrity. Everyone gets
Uh-huh.
it, dog.
Yeah.
But come on.
I could just see him handing and going, "It's better than money."
God. Don't
It's
spend it
worth
all.
more than $5.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
is right. Bowling Mania paid 20 for a 5, so
No, Gene does go to Richardson from time to time, so I have seen him at Richardson like on a random Friday or Saturday night. So Gene does go there, and he'll play a bunch of games and hang out and stuff. So at some point he must have got it when he was there, because I don't know how else he got it, because I
Uh-huh.
didn't give it to him.
uh-huh.
I did not give it to him. I'm like, oh my god,
Well,
yes, that's Gene.
I can't deny that I know Michael Beltran when someone confronts me with it in public. So, yeah, it was a day.
With all of these top league players in here, I do have a question that I want to ask all of the players.
All right, let's go.
Which do you think it's better to be good at in NBA Jam and or hang time? Is it better to be good in offense or defense?
Ooh, nice question.
100%.
Offense.
Defense, because everyone is an all-star and everyone can drain the ball or dunk it, pretty much, unless they're John Stockton. Shout out. But what I'm saying is, like, the defense is how you get the turnovers. The more turnovers you get, the more opportunities you have to score with your all-star. It's how much, and you know this more than anything, Willow, because you're awesome at defense as well as Beltran, and I like to think myself,
No.
is
I
stealing the
think
ball,
it's offense
getting
because I think that's what sets you guys apart is that you guys are the hardest to steal the ball from. I think defense, once you get to a certain level of defense, there's a level of tic-tac-toe-ness or randomness to it. Like, you can be as good as you can in defense, but sometimes the computer blocks it, sometimes it doesn't. But offense, people who can get the ball up and get a shot off almost every time, over time are going to beat you. Your defense is pretty good, but Andy's defense is good. Jason's defense is good. But what sets you and Beltran apart is how good you guys are on offense.
even though they're not attractive men. No, I'm just playing. Tiger.
Mike, you got thoughts on this?
I think I actually personally would like to be better at, I would choose defense over offense. I mean, they always say
Offense comes easy. It's like regular basketball, right? Like if I don't know, like if you play defense right, offense comes.
Well, to me, Michael and Chris's defense isn't that much better than some of the other people. It's right up there. Whereas their offense
General,
sets
like
them apart.
Yeah.
I would probably say I would lean towards defense. I do agree with you, Octavio, in that there's like a certain threshold where it doesn't matter how good a lockdown defender you are. But I know that, especially when you're learning the game, people tend to have more trouble with someone who can play defense really well than someone who can play offense very well.
Oh, totally.
Because like y'all,
I think at the highest level, offense is what sets the champion apart.
So I'm the only one who hasn't chimed in yet. I would say a 100% defense. It's defense. Like for me,
100%.
We talk about the secret tournament, right? I had a whole half where it was like 4-6. The computer was deciding because it was CPU assistance, right? It didn't matter. It didn't matter how hard the CPU assistance was trying to screw me. They couldn't even get a shot up. Like, defense wins championships. Defense certainly wins an NBA Jam, Hangtime, Showtime, whatever. Now, you might have to alter how you play defense, and you might have to alter the timing. But I had people ripping their hair out at that tournament because of defense, and it's always been that way. Like, I kind of play around, and I hot dog and I showboat, and when it comes down to it, when it comes down to crunch time in the fourth quarter or whatever, like I'll just turn on the defense and it's over. Like that's it.
And honestly, when you watch people play like Willow and Mike, I feel like they have more issues with the ball pressure than they do with all the points they're going to score because those are generated from their lockdown abilities.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say, Chris?
I just did. That's it. That was me.
No,
Defense.
Willow. What do you?
Oh,
No, he's asking what my opinion is since I asked the question.
Gotcha.
I'd say it's about even. Defense.
Oh, that's a cop out.
Get out of here.
Hold on, I didn't finish yet.
Answer this
I said
question with
that's
or question with and.
But defense does win out. I go towards defense as being the key, especially when you run into issues like computer assistance, or you're having a game where the computer doesn't let you hit all the threes. The normal threes just keep clanking. It's going to come down to the defense to keep the game close. As long as you don't let it get out of control, you're always in it all the way to the final buzzer, and that's going to come down to how well your defense is.
I am enjoying the discussion.
This is like, I always respected Willow's opinions and thoughts, but this is the most cop-out answer. I've grilled Willow for an hour and a half before about thoughts about the game, and now they're out the window, I guess.
Nice.
Jason is right about being able to get into those open spots, but a lot of that also is determined by the other team's defense.
Right.
How they play and how they do it.
For sure.
The better their defense, the harder it is to get those open shots or get in and do those shots.
Isn't offense nonstop easy for everybody? You dunk.
I've noticed in the league that it has gone to heavy 3-point shooting.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
2020.
Right.
Yo,
Well,
I
I do, and I don't know if you feel this way, Willow, but
We
I
all-
do think
all
it's
been
a
draining
it's a
threes.
weakness of teams. So, like they rely on the 3-point shot. So, like you just score the points.
I only shoot 3-pointers.
I know, like there's whole teams that only shoot 3-pointers, and you know where to defend them, and you know, like it makes my job as someone who thinks that defense is the way to win so much easier to know that I only have to defend the 3-point line.
Oh, but
No.
Jeremy does. My teammate doesn't. You know.
Well, it's funny, the games we've played, or you can just kind of, through your peripheral vision or through your hearing, you'll hear just like an audible sigh when you sneak in a dunk, because they weren't expecting the dunk. They were expecting you to kick it out back to the 3-point line, because that's what everyone does.
Right. And you know, they all have their place.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, 3 points is greater than 2, but to me, when we're playing the game, I go for the most high percentage shot we can get, whichever one is going to be most likely to give us the points.
Right.
Because
Take your
with
points.
a 3, if you try to force it, you miss it, then it comes down to who gets the rebound. And if your teammate isn't in position or you can't get the rebound, you've just lost potential points.
Yeah.
This is why Orlando, which I love, on NBA Jam specifically, we haven't won a championship like that. We didn't win because it's like if you miss that 3-pointer, you know, the best 3-point shooting team, and me and you, Willow, have had this conversation on like they could be like one of the best teams, but if you miss that 3-pointer, you know Larry Johnson is going to get that rebound, and then they have another chance for an offensive opportunity.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's basically a high risk, high reward. When you're playing like with Orlando on NBA Jam or NBA Jam Tournament Edition, it's great 3-point. They're one of the best 3-point shooting teams. They're fast, they get the 3 points. But if you miss the 3-point and you don't have the ability to rebound it, that's where the high risk reward comes in. You took the high risk. If you make the 3, it's a high reward. If not, you just gave up points and gave the ball to the other team.
All right. There's some Yoda talk, finally. No wishy-washy.
Nah, totally agree here.
100% too.
No, it's basically how Mike's favorite team in the NBA plays nowadays under Mike D'Antoni.
Mm-hmm. Accurate.
Is that
I also noticed somebody on the stream mentioned our adaptation in the games, adapting during gameplay to the other team's play style.
Yeah, you have to. Like the first 3 quarters, I barely even like wake up, and then you know, all that because as we said, CPU assistance is just going to mess around with you anyway. All that is to just sort of figure out where you're going, where when it counts, when the game lets it count. How are you going to play? Hopefully, the game lets it count.
Yeah.
you try to steal the ball nonstop?
You can. But I mean, that's just
If you steal the ball, think about it. When it comes down to it, if you take the ball away, not a rebound, but you simply take the ball away, it's the great equalizer of everything. Like, take the ball away from the other person.
Michael Beltran
I know that.
is taking the ball away the great equalizer.
No,
Oh.
it is diarrhea.
What?
Diarrhea is the great equalizer. Great man once said that. A great man once said that.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure how that applies to NBA Jam League. Honestly, I hope it doesn't apply to NBA Jam League.
Yeah, I would hope it wouldn't. I mean, I thought Zeke did one time next to me, but I don't know. I didn't want to call him out.
Have we had any game stoppages due to a lack of stoppage?
Oh my
Nice.
God! Look, Andy's got jokes.
Nice.
Andy's got jokes.
Nice. Wow.
Look, Michael, Andy's got jokes.
He does. I didn't
I
think you
love
had
it.
it in you. Wow.
I love
that's
it.
awesome. Yeah.
Props,
There you go,
Andy.
Andy.
Look at Andy
Yeah.
went deep. Love you, Andy.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. That's great, man. Oh.
That was hilarious.
I had to
think about it for a millisecond, but if someone else said it, I wouldn't have to think about it. But then when Andy said it, I was like, wait a minute, what is talking
Yeah.
about?
no way.
That's awesome.
Now, getting back on topic, I know Chris has mentioned this a couple of times while watching some of the games. I wonder what everybody else's opinion. A lot of people have a tendency to try to go to the same spot over and over for the 3 points. Has anybody else noticed that?
Yeah, I think part of that is if they recognize the hotspot, at least for the players that do recognize that. There's definitely been, I think it's improved from season to season, but I know in that first season, there were definitely some teams we played where I knew they would immediately run across the bottom because they were going to try to take a three-pointer from basically the bottom of the three-point line, and it was just so predictable that we built a pretty big lead because of that.
Yeah, some players are so like into getting that hot spot that I'm like, there's a turnover, I just immediately go to their hot spot and start shoving. I can shove them completely off screen because I know right where they're
Purposely
going.
don't care about the hot spot on.
Yeah,
on
I
purpose.
think
Like,
I think the hot
never
spot
care
is
about it.
many times fool's gold. The first shot from a hot spot is just going in. Like, that one's better than the on fire shot. The first one where you hear the Robotron sound and it goes up, that one's going in if it doesn't get blocked. The second one is a totally different story. Maybe it goes in, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you shoot 17 open shots from there, and CPU assistance is just like, you know what? Nah, that one's hit or miss. You have to hit both of those before you've even activated a hotspot for the first time, and that's fighting through all the defense where, you know, players like Andy and players like Willow know that you're going for the hotspot. So actually getting it activated and successfully, that's an interesting stat. Like, how many times has someone like thrown up a successfully activated hotspot shot? That's tough because people are trying to defend.
Yeah, I think by now a lot of people have noticed where the hot spots are, especially for the most picked teams in the league.
What? What'd you say?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and some of them are really easy, like Elijah one.
Yeah, the top corner. A lot of people like to, even without Elijah, like to hit that top corner.
Right. Well, it's because you can kind of. It's at the end. It's at the most dangerous place to be too. But it's a good place to spot up. If
Put you in that
undefended,
like you can't go anywhere corner, like basically like y'all said in the past when I watched the things of it, like the walls, the outside perimeter is a defender basically. I've heard Beltran say, I've heard Delp say,
yes,
because you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, you want to move around like you're taking sniper fire, like a snake, right?
Try to drink. It seems like a high percentage shot.
Oh, they clipped Andy's joke. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, they clipped
What did
it.
Andy say?
Ian did it. Ian did it. Yeah, good job,
Yeah.
Ian. Shout out.
Nice.
That's so good. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna be wrapping it up here, boys.
What you go do? There's no Mavericks games.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we have Cause Free Play Live coming up soon anyway. So
How does Chris not
Okay,
have ice
yeah.
in his drink?
what up?
Yeah, Gori Midori's been on for a bit, right?
Has she?
Oh, hello.
Somebody?
Yep, there
You
she
didn't
is.
say anything.
Oh,
I
hey,
was
what?
literally holding off, waiting for Angela to show up.
Who's this?
I was waiting for you guys to. I was doing work and waiting for you guys to finish.
Okay. Well, I was waiting
So,
for
like,
you.
You're
So
having a rousing conversation.
yeah.
Well, I
so-
can't wait to see you guys again.
Yeah, let's do this again. Can we do this again?
We know, Octavio. We know you need some human contact. You want socializing.
I have my NBA Hangtime League background and a series of backgrounds. I got the logo. I got my friends. I just want to hear from my friends. Let's do this again, can't we?
I'm in.
Sure. Got it.
Bye, guys.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right. I'll
Team Fire,
post.
baby, Chun-Li.
I'll post more in the chat. See you guys soon.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Sounds good. See ya.
Later.
Chun-Li over everything. Team Fire.
Thank you to the NBA Jam League. Always entertaining to me. Regardless, take it back to the Free Play Away Game Studios. Let's see here. There are so many different images and craziness happening here. I don't even know